Okay, I want to introduce you to three guys, but and each of them have a different story, and I want to start with Bryce Clark, who is, would you consider Mitt a mentor, or at some point a mentor?
Yeah.
You're Mormon.
Yes.
He was your stake president. I talked about this a little while ago. That's kind of like a cardinal. You're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a cardinal. And being an alcoholic and a Mormon is a big deal. I know, because I think we may be the only two alcoholics in the whole faith, but at least the one that talks about it. And you were struggling with alcoholism. Your father is a big wig. Your father runs BYU, Idaho. And you went in to see the stake president.
Yeah, I mean, so I had known Mitt Romney my whole life. He'd been my home teacher, obviously a prominent guy, and it was time for me to go on a mission at age 19. So I went in to talk to Mitt.
Did anybody know you were out of control except you?
No.
Okay, even your dad?
They suspected something,
okay.
But I went in and I completely lied. Lied my way through the whole interview, was ready to go, and then one night realized that that had been a huge mistake and I needed to make amends. And I knew if I didn't do it right then, I would never do it. So I went into my parents' room and I said, I need to talk to Mitt Romney right now. It was like 11 o'clock at night. They called him. He said, send him over. Went over to his house, you know, walking up his driveway, like just feeling, like you said, my dad was prominent, and I knew this was good. First of all, I knew that, like, it wasn't just alcoholism. I'd gotten into drugs and other stuff too. Like, there was no way I was going on a mission.
Right.
After I told Mitt what was going on.
Right. And you also know in that culture, that's really a big deal. That's like, yeah. You're the devil. Yeah. You had a beer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're way beyond.
I'm way beyond
you're
that.
You're El Diablo.
Exactly.
Oh, got it.
And I'm walking up there just expecting that Mitt Romney's just going to confirm all that, and we'll go through what we have to go through, and he'll lay down the law, and, you know.
That'll be it.
That'll be it. And that's not what happened. And the way that he handled the situation that night changed my life.
What did he say?
Well, first of all, I mean, it was, you know, he's still in his work clothes, you know, in his slippers. He takes me into his den, and he sat me down. And most times when I've been in these things, I usually just kind of zone out, and I just kind of, it's like you're ticking off, you know, each point, and then I just want to get through it. And he said, I know what you're going to say. You don't even have to tell me. He said, I know. And he said, we'll take care of the mission. You're not going. And I said, I understand. Then he was like, I don't want to talk about that. And he got right down into my face, and he said, I want you to know that you're not alone. He said, I will be here for you, but you're not the only person that struggles. And he said, I want you to stop thinking about yourself, because I know you're doing this to yourself, as a bad person. He said, you're not measured by how many good things you do and how many bad things you do. He said, this is how we're measured. Are we trying to improve? And he said, you being here tonight qualifies you as a saint. And then he spoke to me for about an hour, shared some scriptures and different thoughts, and I walked away from his house back to my car, just filled with hope. And my life didn't change overnight, but it changed my paradigm, how I looked at myself, how I looked at other people. And the next 2 years were kind of hard because I'm the Mormon guy who's 19 that's not on a mission.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever Mitt Romney saw me in public, his arm was around me. He would go out of his way to come over to me, shake my hand, and make me feel welcome.
Let me read. May I read this?
Yeah.
Have you shared this with anybody? Has anybody in the press called you?
I did share it with the New York Times.
Did they print it?
Not the letter.
Yeah. Here's the letter that Mitt wrote in his own handwriting. Bryce, you are a blessed, choice person. The Lord loves you. Your life will be filled with large measure of happiness. Your worth is not measured by the total of your sins, but of good deeds, and it is measured whether you are striving to improve. This measure you are a saint. I look forward to seeing you. Best, Mitt.
Yeah, and he reiterated that those two ideas, it's not where you are.
Did he just kind of hug you and then move on, or Has he, because you refer to him now as like a mentor.
I mean, from that time on until, like, I didn't come back to the church right away. It took me some time. But he was always, this isn't the only letter that he wrote me. And he would come see me. I mean, even way after he was the stake president, he would still do that. And then when my first child was born, he came to my church where I was to be in the blessing of my child. And, you know, I've moved on since then. I don't bump into Mitt Romney all the time, you know, but I mean, it's one of those things where someone gives you an hour of their time, and he'd been there for me in my childhood, but it literally changed my life.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll travel to you and find out how Mitt Romney impacted your life.